Hello, welcome to Views and Opinion on healmediaafrica. I am Olama Vivian Chinana. On today's episode, we'll be discussing with the officials of Independent Electoral Commission, that is INEC, to see how prepared they are on the forthcoming general election come 2023. We also went to the street as usual to find out the voting preference of our respondents and to know if they have their PVCs. Do not go away. Manjoko, will you vote in the upcoming election?
Yes, I'll vote.
Okay, who is your preferred candidate?
P2B.
Do you have your PVC?
Yes, I have.
Show us your PVC.
I'm not with it here.
So where is it?
It's at home. Definitely I will vote.
Having seen the situation of things in this country, I think I will vote the right person.
Tell us who in particular. We have a lot of people who are coming out for the presidential seats.
I have somebody in my heart I will vote for. Yeah.
Okay, now, do you have your PVC?
Yes. Yeah, I lost my people. It's under process.
Here in Southeast, everybody is going for P2B because he's a reliable candidate, and with him, I know Nigeria is going to come back to its normal glory.
Okay, do you have your PVC? Because that is the only tool and power you have to vote whoever you want to. Do you have your PVC?
Well, the last election, I registered, but I didn't collect my PVC. But recently, I've registered for the PVC. I'm yet to collect it, maybe by next month.
Are you going to vote in the upcoming general election?
Yes, of course, I will vote.
Okay, who is your preferred candidate?
Which aspect, which level?
Presidential election, who do you want? Who are you voting for?
Of course, it's obvious. We want a person that will bring change for us. Mr. P2B is the right person for me to vote to.
Okay, do you have your PVC? Have you gotten your PVC? Because that's the power you have to vote whoever you want.
I have not, but our own is the last batch. They say it will come out by November.
Are you going to vote in the upcoming general election?
Yes, of course, yes. I'm going to vote. Yes.
If yes, who is your preferred candidate?
Yeah, my preferred candidates. I have just one, and it's Mr. P2B. Is my preferred candidate, of course. Yes. And I have my reasons for obeying him, because I know from all the problems Nigerians we are facing, he's the one that is at least telling us that he has a solution for them. So, of course, I know I'm going to vote for him.
Okay, now, without PVC, you have no business in the polling unit. You can't cast your ballot. Do you have your PVC with you?
Yes, I have my PVC. I have my PVC and I've gone to check for it where I kept it. It's safe. So, I can even tell you where my polling station is. So, I'm ready to go there. Very early in the morning, sit down there, cast my vote, wait till the vote is being counted, because I'm not going to joke with this one.
Are you going to vote in the upcoming general election?
Definitely. Though I've always been a voter since 2011 that I did my voter card up until last election, and definitely this coming election I'm going to cast my vote.
Okay, do you have a preferred candidate, the person that you would love to?
Oh, who wouldn't? Going by what is happening in the country, anybody that is not going to cast his or her vote that is of age is really not doing him or herself any good, and even the future generations to come.
You have someone already in mind, and who is the person?
It's very obvious and very, very obvious, except for the blind. Even the blind now sees, going by the cost of living in Nigeria. So if you can't see, you can hear. If you can't hear, you can see. I already have a preferred candidate whom I believe will lead this country to a better Nigeria, where we will all not be, be in a hurry to jackpot. I needed to move my voter card to where I am, so it won't be far from me to cast my vote. I have done the update. They said that it's ready, but from what I learned, it will be ready by November.
Cynthia, are you going to vote in the upcoming general election?
Of course. I want the country to be better. So, vote.
So now, who is your preferred candidate and do you have your PVC?
First of all, I have my PVC because I'm fully ready for this upcoming election. And to crown it all, I'm an obedient and useful citizen of this country. So I'm going for P2B.
Now, have you collected your PVC?
Yes, I've done that.
Show us if you have it.
It's very
Show us your own.
That's it.
Okay, this
The
is your
permanent, yes, the temporary one for now. So after 4 years, I will get the permanent one.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Hello viewers, you're still watching Views and Opinion reaching you from healmediaafrica. My name is Olama Vivian Chinana. In view of 2023 general election and voters registration, I have with me the INEC PRO in the person of Dr. Chinoye Chijoke Osuji. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
In the history of election in Nigeria, 2022 has witnessed the large turnout of voters. How would you react to that, ma'am?
Two things. The first is the Electoral Act 2022, which has just been passed into law. And then the use of the BVAS machine, which we have used in some off-cycle elections like in Ekiti, Anambra, Oshun. So because the electorates have seen that there's a difference, I think that is why there's this surge this time around.
Okay, let's talk about registration and collections so far. How would you describe the turnout of people in terms of collections and all of that?
Let me begin with the registration you talked about. You would recall that during the registration exercise, we had so much surge. And once we announced there was an extension, people went back and were no longer coming for the exercise. But immediately there was an announcement of the dates the exercise will close. There was that surge again. And there's one thing I think a lot of prospective voters or registrants at that time didn't do right. Because prior to this registration, we have over 200,000 uncollected PVCs. And these PVCs belong to human beings, possibly the same people who have come to register again. And we kept going on air to announce that we have uncollected PVCs. Go first and check whether your PVC is there before you know whether you will now register afresh or not. We even gave out a website where we say check that website, inec.voter.org. Check that website to know whether your details could be found in the register of voters before you can register afresh. So many people didn't do that. Once they had go and register, everyone went about registering. Now with the recent PVCs we've collected, we have over 300,000 uncollected PVCs spread across the 27 local government areas of the states.
Uncollected
Uncollected,
PVCs.
yes. So that tells you that the interest is still not quite there, or maybe the people are still waiting for the 11th hour to begin to surge again. I don't know what the plan is.
But do you think INEC has done enough in terms of sensitization for people to come and pick up these PVCs?
Yes, please. INEC has been doing a lot.
Tell us about it.
We've been meeting with our stakeholders. Our respective local government areas are manned by the electoral officers who have met with NDSs and all other stakeholders in the local government areas. We have gone as far as going to the markets on market days to announce that you should come pick up your PVC. The only thing left is for us to begin to do word-to-word distribution of PVCs. And the modality for that has already been put in place. In a couple of days, we'll begin to go from word to word for collection of PVCs or distribution of PVCs. So it's a matter of the people being interested. It's a matter of the people deciding to go about or to carry out their civic responsibility.
Because if you don't pick up your PVC, you can't vote. That is the prerequisite for you to cast a ballot.
During the last concluded registration, voters registration, there were a lot of complaints by people that they were asked to pay some certain kind of amount of money before they could get registered. So I want to find out if you have gotten such complaint to your table as a PRO of INEC.
Yes, during the last registration exercise, we got such reports. And my then rec, his tenure ended, so he is gone. My then rec and some members of management paid an unannounced visit, unscheduled visit to many of our registration centers. We wanted to know who these culprits are, if they are INEC staff or whoever they could be. And we realized they are not INEC staff.
You did your research and findings.
Oh yes, we realized they are not INEC staff. There's a group of students who call themselves volunteers. They are the ones that were doing this, not INEC staff.
But it was alleged that it happened right in the head office here too.
At that media center, those people were also here. The volunteers were also here, but we nipped it in the bud here because it is within our vicinity. But those centers outside, it couldn't have been easy to be there 24 hours. And of course, the registration officers wouldn't have left the machines they were manning to go about curtailing that. But for this very environment, we nipped it in the bud here, so it didn't happen here.
Okay, you are assuring the public that it never happened in your office?
No, it didn't happen here. It was outside.
All right, now, we want to see from this angle again the issue of apathy. You know, people are quite scared as regards to, you know, even if we vote, our votes, are they going to count it and all the rest of it? They have all these questions going on in their mind. And what is INEC doing to make sure that these people still believe in the electoral process again in order to choose who they truly want from 2020?
The one thing I want the electorate to know is that in a bid to make sure that our elections are free, fair, and credible, INEC has put in a lot of innovation. I'll give you a few instances.
Okay.
Number one, our registration process before now wasn't computerized. But now, in the immediate past registration exercise, you monitored it, you were here then, you could see that for each eligible voter, we took every detail of yours, not just 2 fingers, but the entire 4 fingerprints. We took a photograph of you smiling and with a frown face. We took a photograph of your eyes alone. So every biodata of the eligible voter was captured. This was not being done before now. Accreditation is no longer done manually or with any kind of form or with a mere card reader. No, now it's done with a BVAS device. BVAS means bimodal voter accreditation system.
Okay.
Bimodal means it has to identify the voter in 2 ways: by using your fingerprints and using your photograph. If you are not accredited using that device, you cannot vote.
Okay.
So that tells you that you can't come with someone else's PVC. You can't come with a PVC that is not good. Good in the sense that if it's broken or defaced. For every election, from the polling unit, immediately after the election, and the result sheet is written, it is also with the use of the BVAS that you capture that result sheet and send an electronic result to the INEC result viewing portal. So that wherever you are in the world, you can log on to that INEC result viewing portal and you will see real time what results have emanated from the respective polling units. So with this innovation, it's difficult for anybody to do anything untoward.
Okay, even those that are selling their PVCs too.
Selling your PVC makes no sense. Because if I have a PVC other than mine, I can't use it. So these are things that I need the electorate to know that the INEC of today, by God's grace, INEC keeps improving. It's not the INEC of yesterday. So I urge them to come out, pick their PVC, come out on the election day, cast their ballots. The election will be clean, free, fair, and credible.
Okay, I want to take you back to the issue of sensitization. You made mention that INEC is starting to distribute those PVCs to the people. When is it?
We started already, not that we are starting.
Okay, you started.
Yes, it's been continuous. Even while the registration was ongoing, we were distributing cards. We never stopped distributing cards. And we'll continue distributing cards till 30 days to the election.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't ever stop distributing cards.
Okay, now, what is your is INEC doing as regards to the security of the staff and electorates who are going to participate in the 2023 general election?
The job of INEC is to conduct the election. INEC is not a security agency. We rely on the security agencies for the security of man, materials, and every other electoral personnel. We have an organization in INEC we call ICES, Inter-Agency Consultative Committee for Election Security. It comprises of the police, the army, the DSS, NDLEA, prisons, and all other security outfits. But the major security outfit in charge of electoral security is the police.
I would like you to tell us the timetable of collections of the newly registered voters and the ones that registered before now.
Every voter that registered in the first 2 quarters, that is June 2021 to January 2022, we already have their PVCs.
Okay.
So they let them come pick them up. Then we are expecting the rest between the end of this month and the end of November.
Okay, from the end of this month to end of November, every voter should be ready.
Yes.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your time.
welcome.
We'd like to appreciate you for your time, and we hope to see you again. All right, viewers, this is where we call it a wrap on today's episode. Join us again next week for another exciting and interesting episode of News and Opinion. My name is Olama Vivian. I'll see you again. Bye.